Stanley Black & Decker provides tools and services around the globe to help turn great ideas into reality and to help us shape the world we live in. We proudly support programming that inspires invention, innovation, and hard work. Together with Make48, we're providing men and women the tools and resources to build a better world. Stanley Black & Decker, for those who make the world.
Previously on Make48, the inventors presented to a focus group of industry experts.
I would say that I don't like having the name on anything or my address. If my child loses it or someone finds it, they would know my child's name. They're in a music park and they get separated from me. I don't want someone looking at that by their name.
And the prototyping continued. While work on their prototypes ramps up, the teams begin to shift their focus to marketing videos and presentations.
Lighting in a car
is
hard.
Okay. That's something I hadn't considered.
Right. And especially if he's actually driving when you're doing this, lighting someone's face in a car is dangerous.
I think that it would be best to just have a static car shot.
So how do you do that with the background through the window?
It depends on when you're doing this, because if it's dark,
yeah, it won't matter.
So if it's dark, I guess we could do all of it at night.
faking a car driving down the road, if you can have another person just outside of the car, just taking a light and just like, picture spinning it like barrel roll axis style, the light just like going across the windshield over and over again.
Okay, that's a great thought.
Yeah,
You understand
like you don't actually have to.
absolutely.
You don't actually have to like spin it or whatever, but you just need shadow movement.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Like
Yeah, okay.
Cars passing kind of thing?
Yeah, cars passing, going under street lamps, doesn't matter. As long as the viewer sees some sort of kinetic motion.
Back in the pits, Bob helps the biggest little makers with their Clean Cot disposable tent.
So we're developing a cot tent, basically, so that evacuation centers can throw it up, you put it on top of the cot, and now you've got privacy as well as some hygiene benefits.
You need to fold all these bad boys that line. So question, how can we do it quickly? Is there a jig? Is there some way to do it quickly? You see what I'm saying?
Right.
If I picked up every spline, right?
We keep drifting this way.
Like this. You see what I'm doing?
Right.
And this is just, we're just trying to figure it out. The Clean Cot, I remember the conversation, we were contemplating on building a full-scale version of the Clean Cot. It took a lot of folding by hand. If the machine could do it pretty quick if you manufactured it, but by doing it hand and a full scale, it just wasn't enough time. So they chose to scale down, which I thought was a great decision to give that effect of what it would look like.
And then we actually just started building a second prototype. We got one that works, but we're realizing in order to get our cost of materials down low enough for our business model to work, we needed to change how the device worked. And so rather than trying to explain like, oh, this is what we have and this is how it will work, we want to build one that's as close to the manufacturable product as we can.
So you go 12.
You're gonna make this a little bigger?
Taller, wider, so it's more to scale of the cot.
I think, at least for me, the biggest part is always like, what if there's some just huge problem with our product that we're just, kind of inventor blind to? And we've been talking to all the tool techs, trying to get as much feedback on it as we can. So I think we've got a pretty good idea of, what objections there would be to our product and how to absolve those.
60 or 88 for the flaps. Right. You can take the flaps on later, or you can do it now. If you had one big whole piece. Yeah. There's your template.
I think we all know objectively that we're in a good spot, but it's hard to feel out with the clock ticking. It's like it still feels like there's a lot to get through. But I have a lot of faith in our team.
Your idea of doing the news clips in the beginning of the school shootings or the anchors or whatever else it might be sets up the situation, right? And then you get into the problem of, you can even have the narrator saying something like, people are getting into our kids' classrooms and there's nothing to stop them. Something like that.
Right, even if the door is closed.
Even if the door is closed, bullets get through the doors.
Yes.
So, and then you go into the solution, which is your product, and that's when you show your product for the first time. You can either show it in use, or you can show a demo of it. I feel like this is a little bit tough. So you want to make sure you're keeping it not too detailed on like the engineering of it. The materials are only important when it comes to the bulletproof aspect and how it attaches to the door frame.
Right. Nobody needs, the audience doesn't need to know how it works from the commercial. They just need to know that you know that it works.
So would you recommend, so since we're not exactly explaining how it works in the video, so afterwards, so when we're talking about it in person, would you say that's when we bring up like what it's made out of? Or where would you say
I think
it's
you can
best to-
mention, say it's fully bulletproof, Kevlar or whatever. You can also say that it's fully secured in place.
Against the pressure of the clock, the teams begin to shift into high gear.
Last night, I was a little concerned about a couple of teams that weren't cohesive enough and they weren't forming an idea. But as far as I know now, they're on their direction. So I think all teams have got a product and they're moving on it right now.
We've got packaging, the housing, circuit board, LED, battery, ceiling. What else have we left out?
So ceiling for what? And you're ceiling for the package?
Ceiling for the product.
Okay.
So the slot where the battery tabs
Yes.
pulling out, how we want to seal that.
Yes.
We talked about tooling costs.
Yeah. What about, there's no like graphic design?
I wouldn't think so. I think what you've got there is, you may want to.
What about color?
Yeah, that's a good question. Well, I mean, you may want to put like a logo on there.
Yeah, that's.
Now all of a sudden we're going to have to be really careful about the direction of the pole and where
Right.
the logo can go.
Because it could be printed or it could be machined.
It's chaotic right now. It's, there's all the teams they've got their direction. They're prototyping now. They're trying to get all their parts done, on time. They know we've crossed the halfway point, and that's big pressure, especially with the clock taunting them.
Are you guys any good at 3D modeling? I have never done
No, okay.
I can do it. So let me go whip something up, and basically what we're going to create is something like this, except wider inner diameter, and then a little flange and 2 screw holes, or 2 screw holes right there on either side, so that this shaft can go through, and these will be fastened down. That'll be a bushing. Okay. All right. Makes sense. Yeah, and then I'll get those over to Luis to get 3D printed.
Cool.
All right.
That sounds good. These teams are making good progress, but there is a ton of work left to be done. We are going to be grinding through the nights, and there's, prints. They get off the printers, and they find out they have to change the design a little bit, and they have to print again. 3D printing's still a lengthy process, or if we have to machine some metal parts for them, these are things that have to happen tonight, and everybody's running around like crazy ants right now, and it's exciting.
Taking advantage of the many resources at their disposal, the teams prepare to work late into the night.
It's getting pretty late.
Our goal was to head out at 2, and it's now 2:10.
Oh my god, is it really 2?
Oh, I didn't realize that. That's the first hour of the time in a long time, actually.
I'm really tired.
Things are coming along. They're coming along kind of slowly, but that's all we can hope to do at this late stage. It's just all about going the last, basically just covering the home stretch at this point.
We're making progress. We are working on a piece right now for one of our filters that we were having trouble with before, and it's working out a little bit better right now. So.
We've made a lot of progress, and things are starting to wind down, and things are starting to finalize, and visually everything's starting to be very concrete and very strong. And right now we're just finalizing our video and finalizing our final prototype, which we're starting to narrow down on, and like I just finished making like our physical logo to display during our presentation. And also Zane and I were working on packaging for the product, and I think we're about to go film soon, and then possibly get some rest for a little bit, and then come back to work more.
There's a lot of elements, a lot of different team members working on different things. So we're getting the video done right now, we're getting packaging done. Right now we're getting the prototype done too. That's kind of my responsibility. Yeah.
We're working on prototyping. We just finished up doing a whole lot of origami right now. We're doing pretty good with terms of getting the presentation ready. The video, we're still waiting because we need a prototype to shoot for the video. So we're kind of waiting a little bit on that one. But otherwise, we've got a lot of our marketing facts down. We've got a lot of the information we need. So I think we're in pretty good shape in terms of that.
We've gone over a couple of different storyboard ideas for filming, but we haven't done any filming yet.
If everything goes right, fingers crossed, then we'll be okay. But if something breaks, we'll have a little trouble then.
Well, we're working now on the video phase. And so it's actually, this is my favorite part, because I'm the film minor in the group. And so I get to shine, and I guess we've been doing interviews in the bathroom actually. Lighting's great in there. It's the only area where there isn't like a chance of hearing like a jackhammer sound.
I've been working on the prototype, so actually finishing up the design for it. So I've been outside spray painting and kind of getting that together so then we can start running tests on it. So I'd say we're getting to the final phases. We're in good shape. So things have been not too bad.
We are in the process of getting our marketing materials together. I'm working on the video that we're going to be showing during our talk. Natalie here is also working on our presentation. I'm also working on our sales sheet. So it's basically those three things. That's going to be the bulk of at least the efforts between the two of us and our one. We have a team member in the hotel right now. We have a fourth who is working on our prototype still, just trying to make sure that it's demonstrable. So the majority of our effort is going to go to getting our marketing materials together. Man, I really hope we finish.
Having college students at our competition this time as teams was really exciting because when it came down to the actual making of the product, a lot of them already knew how to use the softwares or some of the machines, and so that was really interesting to see. Overall, the students were really excited to just get started and to make their product and really see what they could achieve in the 48 hours.
Good morning, everyone. How are we this morning? Yeah! That is impressive for 2 days with no sleep. I love you. That is great, yes. Okay, I know you're weary, but as you can see by the clock, we are into the home stretch. This is really where we have to burn tight to meet the deadline. So you need to make sure that your prototype is finalized and ready to go. Secondly, you want to make sure that you have your sales sheet completed. And thirdly, make sure that you have your product pitch video ready to go. As you finish your work here, we are going to do some pre-judging, which is going to help accelerate the process of deliberations tonight. So we're going to have some teams coming around here, a team of our judges coming around. They're going to spend just a couple of minutes with you, give them just a little bit of pitch, answer a couple of 3 quick questions, and you go on about your way. But that's going to help them greatly tonight to make the deliberations much tighter and less time, okay? Let's burn the rest and make it special, everyone. Come on! Make48! About to wrap up.
Prejudging is really important for a manufacturer like ourselves to take a product to market. We want to make sure we can afford the tooling. Can the product be designed and actually manufactured is one of the biggest things that we look for in prejudging. So this is the time I get to bring in the experts. We walk the floor, we see what's out there. They then give me some feedback to say, look, product A, B, and C are good, but the rest of them cannot be manufactured.
And the idea of it is that it converts the normal sort of cone shape of a light, of a flashlight, into more of a planar shape across the ground.
It's going to be an injection molded plastic or durable hard rubber. So what we've developed is a sensor that can, by using, basically it scans for the surface of the water and it scans for the depth of the road beneath it using LiDAR and sonar technology. And then from there it can get an accurate picture of how deep the water is in front of your car.
If you need a guardian, a companion like a canary to tell you if something in the air is going to be harmful, then you have it right there.
Here we are, last day, down to the wire. We have chaos. A little bit of panic for some teams. Some teams have really wrapped it up nicely. I want to go to Rich with this, Rich and Bob. And I got a team that needs me to do grab that stuff. All right. So are you good?
Yeah.
All right.
MSRP means retail price. Should I have like a separate category of the price breakdown, or do I want to mention those price?
No, that's too much.
So we have the new logo that's going to say Shield instead of this. That is going to go here. They said they can not laser cut. They can engrave it around this area. It just can't be too close to the edge, so
Okay,
knock
got
it
it.
over.
Yeah.
And then we're going to take Ready to Protect. And then Brian said it might be cool if we have that in vinyl at the top.
The way we designed it is using a folding system that allows it to be generated all out of one piece. So it's all one piece of material that's folded in a press machine, and then one edge is glued together. So manufacturing costs are incredibly cheap.
You may have covered this, but is this a material that can filter air as it's going through?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it is a medical grade fabric that we're planning on using. Like I said, it's the same material that they use for surgical gowns and masks and sutures.
All right, we have a difficulty here in the alignment of this vertical and really fitting within collision points. So I think we're going to go to Plan B and apply a plaque on top. I'm too worried about we're getting so close to your curtains and everything that we'll put a beautiful logo on a plaque and it'll apply to that. It won't affect the, how it drops or anything. And I think that's a better, safer way to go at this point.
I like that idea because I really do like the look of the engraving. And do you think could the plaque even be like shaped in a shield?
We'll do the nice shield around it, and that's the
I almost
advantage
like
that
that
we
better.
can't, because we just can't quite fit it in there.
I thought it might be cool to do some, like put blue, since you had the blue on the door, to put that inside the letters too. That might make it pop, especially against the light wood.
How would we do that to add the blue?
You could just do that if it's what do you think of these things? I mean, if you did the stain, that would have the contrast. Is that what you're saying with that?
A stain would have a nice contrast because the end grain would kind of pick that up, and it would give you a quality wooden sign, which that goes with interiors as well. That's available. I mean, at this point, don't worry, you still have 34 minutes.
Yeah, 34 minutes. Oh, yeah, that's fine.
That's a method that we can do within 34 minutes.
Yeah, that is the fastest way.
Okay, no, so we're all good. Basically, the engraving is coming out fine. They have the initial letters in there. So they're thinking to make it pop, they're just going to go over it and do a stain with the letters so that it'll be more prominent and we'll have a really nice finish on the logo.
Railroads a little bit. It also keeps that feeling of wanting to know what's happening next or wanting to know what this little... Because right now, they're like, oh, they're just carrying around a bird statue. But like, if you find a question to ask, that'll make them think, oh, there's definitely something more behind this. If you boil down your entire concept to like, what if you could be safe from carbon monoxide wherever you go?
I think statistics will help, titles will help. I mean, personally, I don't feel like carbon monoxide to me is a top of mind thing, but after hearing about your product, I feel like I should bring something like this to a hotel or, have this in my home or just at least be more aware.
With it, yeah.
Attention, Make48 teams, 30 minutes to go. We're counting down the last 30, and then product making is over. Shout time concludes. All right, 30 minutes, let's go!
So we really want to start with the facts. Okay.
So I think,
but did you know there?
I don't want a photo right here.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know if I like the photo.
I think I like photos for the
Yeah, we could center the photo and then try to like surround
Build
the
around it.
product.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
But yeah, no, I think I like the idea that you
Center
can have
photo, yeah.
center photo.
All right, let me grab the
wrap
photo.
that around.
That photo.
I mean, that's pretty much
I
the
like
photo.
that. I like
You have a
No. Can we what?
white background. You can have a
Oh, you mean with this?
Yeah.
I mean,
starting point.
I mean, the reason I wanted it black is because this stuff will stand out against.
That's
you
true.
get a nice
So we,
We really just need to finalize the sales sheet and make sure we get a presentation done. But we have some time before the pitch tonight to do that. But I think we get this done right now. We have our prototypes done. We have
literally everything else is taken care of already. So.
If I had any advice for these kids, it's real simple. If you have an idea, write it down. Keep moving forward, keep coming up with ideas, and don't ever give up.
The beautiful thing about entrepreneurs, inventors, creators is they have a curious approach to life. They're adventurous and they're optimistic, and they like to solve problems. My favorite people in the world are entrepreneurs, and I think they do change the world. So keep going. That's my best advice.
You know, I think it's really great what they're going through right now, and this competition that they're in right now. The learning experience of what works and the process, and you know, take advantage of your mentors. Learn from everybody that's been down that path before. It's not the kind of thing that you're going to learn in a textbook. You're going to learn from experience, and so as much of that experience that you can pull off of the people that have done it before, the faster you'll move through that learning process.
Don't get frustrated, hang in there, keep going at it. One of the things I really like is the makerspace opportunity for kids now. They can walk into an area where the workshop and they have all the tools, the different things that they need. It opens up a lot of doors for people that didn't have the tools that they needed.
I think that for college kids today, there's a lot of pressure on knowing exactly what you want to do, how you're going to do it. For good reason, there's focus on it. But I think don't be hindered by it. Don't settle when you don't have to. Your career may start at a different time than you may think it does. It's not going to start right out of school. What you study isn't necessarily what you're going to end up doing. Half the people in this room, they're creating products that probably had never thought that they were going to create, right? Something that we see at Grommet is that probably 90% of the folks that are creating products were just, they saw a need, they had a problem. Necessity is the mother of invention, right? We already know this. And so don't lock yourself into one place. Don't feel like you have to. Open your mind to new ideas and be inspired by things in different places. Some of the best products have been existing technologies just reapplied in a different industry. To the college kids out there that are figuring this out, you might always be trying to figure it out. It's not a bad thing. It's part of the gig.
Deadlines are what make everything happen in the world. I grew up in the construction industry, and there are deadlines, absolute hard-set deadlines on everything we do. And if it wasn't for that, frankly, a lot of things wouldn't get done. Most things wouldn't get done.
Any successful project or venture that you're going to set off into, if you don't have an idea of how long something's going to take to get there, you'll never get there. Or if you don't set yourself a deadline of how much time you have to get it done, you'll likely not get it done in that amount of time.
Deadlines. There's this dimension where ideas go, and it's called tomorrow. And it always stays there, and you should never, back burners are a horrible thing. You need deadlines. Urgency brings out some of your best talents.
It was just a really long process, but it didn't feel very long.
These last 48 hours rushed by, and at the same time, feels like we started a month ago.
We were scurrying around from the start. We had spent 10 hours doing just brainstorming and trying to figure out what the heck to do, and that was the most frustrating part of it for us. But once we hit our idea, we really accelerated the process from there.
Everything sort of blended together towards the end. It seemed like things we were doing 2 days ago, we did this morning.
We feel pretty good, at least for us. We've done a couple pitching presentations together, so we're excited to kind of give this a shot.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Tools down, machines off. Make48 Make Time is over. The countdown to showtime has begun.
On the next Make48.
Ladies and gentlemen, creators, makers, dreamers, inventors all, this is the moment you have waited for.
Time has run out, building has stopped, and now the teams must face the judges.
It is now time to crown our top winner.
Stanley Black & Decker provides tools and services around the globe to help turn great ideas into reality and to help us shape the world we live in. We proudly support programming that inspires invention, innovation, and hard work. Together with Make48, we're providing men and women the tools and resources to build a better world. Stanley Black & Decker, for those who make the world.
To learn more about the invention process and to get to know the teams, visit Make48.com.